So over the next 2.5 years, living and working at the Dream Center, one of the things that Gigi had to do is she worked full time as a school teacher, and school teachers, got to give it to you all. You all work hard. You drive across any school in America right now at 6 a.m. in the morning, you're going to see school teachers out there parked. And if you go there at 6 p.m., you're still going to see the school teachers' vehicles parked out there. They put in these full crazy days, and Gigi was working that way and still came home and poured into those young adults and poured into me, because I'd be dealing with them all day long, and I'd be really stressed out. I had a full head of hair when I first started this. And so Gigi would work the weekends, and really, she never had any time off, but she felt like she was missing out. She really wanted to be part of the ministry and really be part of what we were doing there. And God laid it on her heart to go ahead and resign and to give up her job. And I was thrilled about that, because like during the summer breaks and stuff, when she was there, we would get so much done, so much accomplished, and us working together and being a team together was just amazing. Really was awesome. And every time she'd go back to school in August, I'd really miss her a whole lot. And so when she came to me and said, "Hey, I feel like God is calling me to resign and enter into full-time ministry with you," my primary thought was, "That is awesome. That is so cool. I'm so excited about it." And then that thought went away. And then the secondary thought came in. What are we going to do for money? We will have no money. And so I was both excited and scared at the same time. And God had taken care of us up to this point. And that's what we reaffirmed with ourselves. God has taken care of us this time. And he's clearly up to something. And so we said, all right, we'll set out. We'll raise funds as missionaries right here in the United States. And, at first I kind of doubted it. I was like, who's going to care about what we're doing as missionaries? Who's going to care about, who's going to take the time to learn our story and to help support us? But God knew exactly who wanted to help us and support us. God had a plan for that. And so we are so grateful for our ministry partners that have been donating and supporting us, so that we can live as full-time missionaries here in the United States. So April of this year, Gigi and I both took a trip out to a brand new Dream Center that was being founded here in Short Creek, which sits on the border of Colorado City, Arizona, and Hilldale, Utah. And so we came to check out the new Dream Center, meet the directors, and it was just almost instantly, I think we both knew. You had said that God's been speaking to you, and then I said, yeah, God's been speaking to me. And so we both presented it and said, you know what, I feel like, we feel like God is calling us here. So we talked to the directors and we said, we really want to be a support for you guys and what you're doing here. And so this is what God has planned for us. We don't want to stand in the way of that. And pretty soon after that, we got everything signed off. Everybody, all leaders and directors above us agreed and released us from what we were doing and agreed for us to come here to Colorado City, Arizona, which for us really meant a lot because, just kind of giving a few highlights of this community, it has spent, it was founded, by the FLDS, which were fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints, who, were isolated from the rest of the world, lived like they were, in a whole different century. And, some evil men had basically were leading this town. A man named Warren Jeffs was the last appointed prophet here. And he did some really, really messed up and awful things, all in the name of God. And so this community hasn't been reached or touched by who God really is in a long time, by any Judeo-Christianity representation whatsoever. And so basically this was an unchurched area of the United States, and we just couldn't believe that. We're like, who hasn't heard the gospel? Who hasn't heard about, who Jesus really is? And, they got a very perverted and manipulated story of the gospel. Not true in any sense. And so when we heard about that, we got to meet some of the people of this town. We said, we have to go. We have to be part of this place. We have to be part of what God is doing here because we know God's going to do big and wonderful things. And the very fact that a dream center exists here in Colorado City, a few years ago that was impossible. No one ever thought that would be possible. But that was another God-sized dream somebody had. And it's just incredible to be attached to that story in some small part. And so we're truly honored and blessed by that.
So our God-sized dream started out with just a passion to help others. And your God-sized dream doesn't have to be huge, and well, it is huge because it's only something that God can do. But it doesn't have to be unattainable. Our God-sized dream just started out with a passion that we had to help others and to see people's lives be changed and to see people reach their full potential and become who God called them to be and to know that they are fully loved. And that may seem like a small thing, but God has taken that small passion to see lives be changed and has transformed it into something so much bigger than we are. And we get to be a part of the Dream Center Network. And there's Dream Centers all throughout the world. There's 200, right?
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
Give or take 200. And we get to be a part of that, to see lives changed for God and to see the kingdom of God grow. And we're just so thankful for that. But what does God put in your heart? What is your God-sized dream? What is your passion that you think that is silly or nobody cares about or that's not going to change something? That thing that God has put in your heart, that talent that you have, that's part of your God-sized dream. And we want to be a part of that with you. We are thankful to start this vlogging community. We want to have a community of other believers and missionaries, and we want to hear from you.
Yeah. So, we want to build this community together. So please like and subscribe to our channel, and also share it with others. Share it with other people, post it on your social media, and start something in the comments. Start what your God-sized dream is. Start what God has placed in your heart so we can pray and support that as well. Maybe you've already started something. Maybe you started an at-home business, or maybe you started a small little outreach. And it's just baby steps. Maybe you're already it's a huge success story. We want to know about what God is doing in your life. Or maybe, just ask for prayer because God is speaking to you about something. And that risk of stepping out in faith is a little bit too scary right now. It's a little bit hard. But that is the key ingredient to your God-sized dream. You got to have faith. You cannot spell faith without R-I-S-K. And, the amazing thing about the characteristic of God is He is sovereign. He is faithful. When you step out, He's going to catch you. He's going to be the one doing all the heavy lifting. Once you agree, once you say yes, once you take that first little baby step, God's going to pave the way. Doesn't mean that you don't worry. Doesn't mean it's not a struggle. Doesn't mean tomorrow I will be freaking out about something and have to go pray about it. But don't be afraid. Don't let your fears be what holds you back. So please like and subscribe to our channel as we build this community of people that are living out their GSD, their God-sized dream. We want to share more of our story, but we also want to hear from you and maybe even answer some of your all's questions. So please tune in to our next episode that will be coming out in a week. All right. Love you all, and God bless.